I think you'll pretty much agree that this is our life, and this is shared experiences. So it's all about us. And seeing that it's all about us, let's look at the movie Us again. And not just the movie Us, but I'm going to add another movie for the sake of this right here. The secret to, or a secret to mastering duality is conquering the two Jasons. To decode the two Jasons. So you got two Jasons, right? You have Jason from the movie Us. His doppelganger is Pluto. So Jason has to fulfill his role as the magician. So that's who Jason is in the storyline. Jason's the magician. So he has the like the outfit on like a person who's getting ready to perform magic. And even his mother tells him, show Pluto one of your magic tricks. Show him one of your magic tricks. So this was what his role was. His role is the magician. So he's the divine child in this age. That's what Jason in the movie Us represents versus Pluto. So what did he have to do when he finally destroyed his doppelganger? He had to walk backwards. And because they realized that being tethered, it's as above, so below. So one thing controls the other. And so understanding this tethering, Jason walked his doppelganger backwards because there was a fire behind Pluto, who is Jason's doppelganger, which segues into pointing to another Jason, the one from Friday the 13th, because both of these Jasons wear a mask. You got the one Jason who wears a hockey mask, and another Jason who, I forget what his mask is, but I'm sure it's symbolic. But both of these characters wear masks in either movie, right? So Jason is the one who drowned in the water from Friday the 13th, but Jason from the movie Us, his doppelganger Pluto, was burned by fire. He came in by fire, as you know, where Jason from Friday the 13th, which is symbolically Frigga's son, or Freya, he comes in by water. Resurrection from him comes by lightning strike, yes. And Pluto, he carries matches. Matches is his main weapon because he plays with fire. He's it would be classified as a pyromaniac. He's pyro. So what did Jason have to do as the magician, and the magician in the movie Us? He had to walk his doppelganger backwards. So if his character, his doppelganger, is named Pluto, and he had to walk Pluto backwards, if Pluto's moving backwards, it's in what? Retrograde. Pluto is the seducing spirit behind imagination, behind like different levels of subconscious influence. This is where Pluto is strong. Pluto can be a trickster. Pluto is more like a geokinetic. That's the Pluto energy. And you realize that Pluto crawled on all fours, his doppelganger in the movie Us. Jason's doppelganger in the movie Us, Pluto, he crawls around like a dog, like the other dog from the Magic Kingdom, being Pluto, the only character in the Disney cast that is non-anthropomorphic. That means Pluto is actually behaves like a dog and is a dog. The other characters in Disney are not, but this is called the Magical Kingdom. So you have the theme to magic again, with Pluto in the movie Us crawling on all fours, just like the dog who is Pluto in the Disney cast. So that's Jason, and there's more parallels too. But essentially, so Jason's doppelganger Pluto, Jason's doppelganger, Pluto, he has the outfit, not the same color, but the partial outfit of the serial killer or the slasher Michael Myers jumpsuit, instead of a black jumpsuit, a red jumpsuit. So you have the jumpsuit effect that everybody from below wore. So Jason as a magician also conquers that. And it's funny because the whole movie, or different times in the movie, he's trying to get this lighter to work. So he has to work with his spark. That's Jason. He's working with the spark, the child Jason, who's the magician. So he's working with what? The element of fire, because his doppelganger comes from the element of fire. So what is the realm of magic? What is one of the main elements of magic? Fire. And you learn all of this just from the movie Us. And you understand too, the outfit, also the driver's glove, right? Being that is pointing to root chakra supremacy. So you have the color red for the root chakra, right? The root energy center at the base of the spine, where the dragon is to uncoil from. So you're in the eye or the den of the proverbial dragon, so to speak, just by virtue of what Pluto's colors was, opposite to Jason, right? So opposite to Jason, you have Pluto, right? And Pluto in retrospect, he's, like I said, he's the dark side of Jason. Pluto is. But it's funny because both of them represent more of a night energy. Because Jason can also be an acronym that breaks down to different types of months. So you can look at Jason as an acronym for July, August, September, October, November, going into the darker, or what we would call the underworld. So again, it brings you, the name Jason brings you right back into the realm of Pluto. But him doing it in retrograde is like the reversal of the seasons. So this brings you back to spring. So the final person in the movie Us that was to slay their doppelganger was eventually Red, or let's say Adelaide. And Adelaide was originally what? The one from below, who lived her life above. So she can represent Freya, like, or whatever goddess of the underworld archetype, Ereshkigal. She represents that part of the journey. So she comes next. But in order to go toward Freya is the month of April. So you have to go backwards. See, Pluto had to go in retrograde. Otherwise, if Pluto is not in retrograde, you would just move on to whatever associated sign and or planet. But being that Pluto at one point was considered a planet, it's not anymore, but it was still considered being at the edge. So that was like, Pluto was the last stop, with Jason being what? The youngest child out of the bunch. So is this and a million other parallels. But what's the lesson of this? Understanding duality and being able to connect the dots across all cinema, all media, if your senses is trained enough. So that's it for now. Super T Sigma programming. Reaching is teaching. Continue to vibrate high, learn, grow, and love.